honest with you, I don't see it as changing enough. There's not real much change because there's still a cronyism, there's still a nepotism. It's not a knowledge based environment anymore. It's about a
Hmm.
friendship situation. You
Yeah.
understand? Now, like here in the Caribbean, like the average new vehicle that you purchase is 7 to 10 million Jamaican dollars.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's
When you
not
yeah
rich.
when you mention you have to break it down or try
I
to
have to break
convert
down.
it.
I have to convert it to US, right?
Convert it to US. It sounds scary when you say $1 million.
Exactly. Exactly. But living here and like when I first got here, it took me a little while to adjust to it as well. But
Yeah.
the reality of it is every adult, there's two large purchases you make, right? Your
Hmm.
house
Your
and when
house,
you
yeah.
buy a vehicle,
Yeah.
right? We're not working on cars. We're working on your vehicle. I mean, on houses. We're working on your cars, right?
Hmm.
Now, if my client comes to me and this person just spent 7 million on a car,
Yeah.
he's bringing that $7 million investment to me because he believes that my knowledge base is grounded in how this unit is put together.
Yeah.
You understand? If there's an issue with it, I should be able to solve it without any issues coming up down the road. You
Hmm.
understand? Now, a lot of dealerships have dropped the ball in this regard in this regard of training the guys, the new guys that come inside of the
Yeah.
dealership.
Yeah.
Understand?
I've
Um,
I've seen that. Not to interject, but they wait until you're at a certain competence before they try to invest in you.
exactly. But the bottom line to it is when those cars are coming in through the bay door, a client just bought a brand new Toyota Corolla or
Yeah.
even a Passat, something small, right?
Right.
And they're coming in. That's that person's life investment.
Hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's
You work. Yeah.
that's
You worked hard for it. Yeah.
you work hard for it.
Hmm.
You understand? So when they bring it to you and they you take it around the back in the shop to work on it, they're giving you their life investment with the idea that this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna have an issue down the road.
Hmm.
You understand? And most dealers, I don't know if it's cost constraints, I don't know what it is, but they refuse to train their guys and get their guys caught up to what is happening in the industry right now.
Yeah.
Every manufacturer changes. I mean, you have some manufacturers that kind of maintain the same engine. Basically, one KZ or one JZ. You know
Yeah.
exactly
One
what it
Jay
is
Z.
that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
working on. But there's
Uh huh.
certain things that has changed. The emissions on it has changed, and
Yeah.
these guys are not advancing their knowledge enough to
Yeah.
know that
They're
hey,
not up
they
to
no
date. Yeah.
longer is using this system. This is a new system that they're using, or
Yeah.
this is how I tap into it, or how I program it. A lot
Right.
of guys don't know.
Hmm.
So if I come in and I just spent X amount of dollars on my vehicle and I give it to you and you give it back to me and I have the same problem 2 days from now,
Hmm.
I am now a disgruntled client.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
You understand? I'm coming back in the dealership screaming and throwing things. You get me?
Hmm.
So a lot of like my processes, my diagnosing process and stuff, came from that knowledge that I can't give you a vehicle that is not 100% repaired.
Yeah.
You understand?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
when you and I worked together at Toyota, you saw my practices.
Yeah,
Nothing went
well,
out the
yeah,
door.
yeah, of course, you were very thorough, but I
Thorough,
mean,
meticulous.
but you see, they weren't ready for that type of thinking. So I mean, that's basically what it is.
Mhm.
Because critical thinking is something that you have to be born with it, or you develop it over time, but it comes with experience.
You know, I think critical thinking can be trained, right?
Hmm.
But you have to have the passion to want to be trained.
Well, that too, yeah,
You understand? Um, when I took the position at that dealership that you and I worked at together, the first thing that I did was put a training program in place. It didn't
yeah,
exist.
yeah,
It never existed.
yeah.
There's actually a budget allocated for a training program for 10, 12 years at the time when I took the
Hmm.
position. And I couldn't understand why is it that these guys have no clue about what's going on these cars. Hybrid cars was just coming into the Caribbean at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went into a team meeting and I asked the guys, okay, well, you see an orange covered cable in a car. What does that mean?
Hmm.
Nobody could answer.
Yeah.
Understand? That's the power system. That you have guys that's trying to stick power probes in these things.
Part of that was the dissemination of the information, because usually either the manager or a master technician is trained in that capacity, but the information is not passed on from, yeah, it's not passed on to the rest of the staff. So
Yeah,
one person, holds on to all that information, and then nothing gets done. And if that guy
exactly.
leaves, all the information leaves with him.
Exactly. See, one of the things that I've read in the Caribbean as well as in Latin America, one of the things that I came across was in a dealership environment, if you're an alignment tech,
Yeah.
you only do alignment.
Alignment, yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you
I
go to
have,
work
yeah,
that day and there's no
specialization. I had a
alignment,
problem with that, yeah.
exactly. If there's no alignment to do that day, you go home zero money. You didn't make any money because we're on a
Yeah.
flat rate system, right?
Yeah.
If you are an AC guy, only thing you do is AC.
It's
That's
AC, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because when I was coming up on the line, we did everything. You did your own
Hmm.
alignments, you did your own brakes, your own electrical diagnosis, your own AC
But
repairs.
I found that was a Caribbean problem. Caribbean and Latin American problem.
Caribbean and Latin America, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
You went a little into some of the challenges, because that was my next question to you. But are there any more challenges you see facing the industry right now?
It's hard to really explain, but the dealership itself and after sales department, there's a
Ah.
huge disconnect.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
understand?
Yeah.
Within the dealership environment, a lot of senior managers is not realizing that once the sales department deliver that vehicle to that customer,
Mhm.
it's up to the after sale guys to actually take that
Connect.
client
Yeah. Connect with the
throughout their
customer.
history
Yeah.
of it. You understand? And then re-deliver that customer to the sales department at a later date, whether it
Yeah.
be 5 years, 10 years down the road. But you
Mhm.
need for the service experience to be so superb that this client will think to themselves, hey, these guys treated me so good
Yeah.
that I can only buy another brand X.
Right.
You understand? There's a disconnect within senior management, especially here in the Caribbean and in Latin America, where they think once we deliver that car, that's it.
Mhm.
We're good. We
Yeah.
made this money. You
Yeah.
understand? And we don't have to do any more. And if the customer shows back up, kudos to us.
They all know this, but it's just that they say old habits die hard, and that is
Oh,
therein lies the problem. Because
oh yeah.
when I was doing extensive training right across much of the Africas and the South America, well, some parts of the Caribbean, and I went mostly to, well, yeah, I went to some parts of Africa and mostly North America. I try to bring back as much information as possible to try to disseminate. And what I found that there was a big division between how we did things in the Caribbean as to how Africa did things, because
Oh yeah.
they concentrated mostly on the absorption rate, as you
Oh yeah.
know, right? They try to keep it to a maximum of at least 80-90%, because they know that
Exactly.
they know that after sales is the lifeblood of the dealership, right?
Oh yeah.
Selling a
Oh yeah.
car was just is just straight gravy, straight profits for them,
Oh yeah.
because they wanted that customer to always come back. And then when I came here to North America now and saw how they did things, right? They have a thing called customer workshop clinic,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Whereby they, after a particular period of time, like 2 months, 3 months after the sales, they invited all,
Re-invite
yeah, they
customer back in.
reinvite all those customers back to our to the work to the dealership, introduce them to parts, introduce them to service, put the car up in the up on the stand, carry them around into the back of the service apartment,
Yeah.
set out the tables and chairs and a big screen, and walk them through. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And reintroduce them to their car as if it's a brand new sales experience all over again,
Exactly.
and get them
Exactly.
intimately involved with their car, the performance and everything, right?
Yeah.
So after that, now you're basically tying the customer back to the dealership. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let them feel good
Well,
about themselves.
my car gets a flat tire. I need to call one of these service advisors over here because
Yeah,
they're gonna have a
yeah,
solution.
yeah. You
You
That's how you
understand?
build. That's how you build customer relationships. Yeah.
Exactly.
What would be some of your recommendations or suggestions to these dealerships?
Training,
Training
training, training,
consistently.
training and exposure. A lot of my guys that I had even here at the dealership that you and I worked at together, and in Latin America, I wish there was a program in place that I could send these guys to North America to work at a dealership for 3 months,
Yeah.
because the exposure in a real world environment dealership running at its full capacity
Mm-hmm.
is an invaluable experience. You know, when you take this back home, you have the ability now to see what all your flaws are.
Yeah. Yeah, and it goes right back to maybe the educational level. So that's another part.
I think I wouldn't say it's educational level. I think what it is that a lot of these guys are hungry, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're hungry, but their hunger is placed in the wrong places, in the wrong direction. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? There's a way as a manager to kind of get your people to hyper focus. Which you
Right.
saw, I did that when I with my team. You saw how I did it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
There was times when we had PDIs coming in the shop, and I
Mm-hmm.
was in my shirt and my tie and all of that. I
Yeah.
took it off, roll up my sleeves, and I went out there and
Yeah.
got
Went out. Yeah.
involved.
Went out on the. Yeah. Went out on the shop and
You
start
understand?
working. Yeah.
Started working with the guys. The first time I did it, every technician in the shop was,
Yeah. They've
"What
never
is
seen it
this?"
before. Yeah.
They've never seen this, but one of them actually came to me and was like, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that." You understand? They couldn't understand it.
Let me go back a little. Why I said educational level is because just before you came there, there was a problem as to why. You remember they had a thing called the skills contest,
Oh, yeah.
right? And the guys weren't qualifying for the skills contest, and they couldn't understand why. And then they had to bring in someone from a local institution to come and do a what they call those evaluation.
Evaluation,
Yeah,
training assessment.
yeah,
Right.
right? An evaluation of what was going on. And when they set the basic test, they realized that a lot of these guys were at a particular educational level that they could comprehend exactly what the next steps would be. Well, a lot of people don't understand those jargons, on your CSIs, customer service
Mhm.
index, how
Yeah.
the measurement, right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
now your how you measure your CSU, the cost per service
Mhm.
unit and all these things.
Units.
So the
Exactly.
numbers are really important. Hopefully, I'm glad that I was able to sum that up. Stephen, thank you
Yes,
very
bro.
much for your time. I don't want to
My
keep you any
pleasure, man.
longer. I'm going to have to save a lot more information for a part two, if you don't mind, because
And you know
um,
my time. How long have we been dancing around to try and get this thing going? How long
I
have we
know,
been?
I know, I know. Try to get a hold of you because
Yeah.
I want to go a little more into the strategies next time because I mean we can't have someone like you running around with all that information in your head. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And
Yeah.
it will be good for you to let the industry know exactly what can be done. And we have so many persons, like I said, going as you mentioned earlier, we go unrewarded, no
Oh, yeah.
recognition, right?
Right.
And that is something that is needed in this industry. So,
Right. Right.
so Stephen, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
again, and
My
I do
pleasure, man.
hope, yeah, I do hope and look forward to us having another sit down.